Hello there, welcome once again. It's your everyday nurse Abby. So today our topic for discussion is sexual dysfunction. So today we'll be focusing on sexual dysfunction in women or in females. So before we get into our discussion, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like and share for more content. So now let's get into it. So, what is sexual dysfunction? So, sexual dysfunction refers to the difficulties that occurs in any phase of our sexual response cycle, or we can say the problems experienced with aspects of our sexuality leading to dysfunction in sexual activities. So, what are these sexual response cycles? So we have the desire phase where we have the desire for a sexual activity, and we have the arousal phase where we become aroused in performing a sexual activity, and the other phase is orgasmic phase or orgasm, what we normally see orgasm, the act of having pleasure or having orgasm in sexual activity. So there are two types of sexual dysfunction. So we have primary and secondary sexual dysfunction. So we have primary and then secondary. So with the primary, this is when someone who has never engaged in any sexual activity experiences some dysfunction leading to dissatisfaction in sexual activity. And then with the secondary sexual dysfunction, this is when someone have experienced sexual arousal, desire, or orgasm before, but for one reason or another, the person do not have the desire for sexual activities, or there is nothing like arousal or orgasm during sexual activity. So these are the main two types of sexual dysfunction. So now let's start with the first one, which is the desire phase. So we have sexual desire disorder. Yes, we have the first one to be sexual desire disorder. And under this, there are three main things that we'll be talking about. So we have hyperactive sexual desire disorder, we have hypoactive sexual desire disorder, and then we have aversion disorder. So let me explain so that we better understand. So with the hyperactive sexual desire disorder, the person has a strong desire for sexual activity that can't be satisfied. That is when the person will engage in several sexual activity because the person cannot control it. And then the other aspect is hyperactive sexual desire disorder. So this is when the person has a decreased sexual desire for any sexual activity. So the person may have desire for a sexual activity, but it is very, very little. And it takes time for the person to build that desire to engage in any sexual activity. And the last thing is aversion disorder. So, for people with aversion disorder in desire disorder, the person does not have the feeling of desire at all. The person does not develop anything that will lead the person to engage in any sexual activity. So the person will not have the feeling at all. So that is it for the desire disorder, the sexual desire disorder. Now, when we move on to the arousal phase, the arousal phase in female, we have female sexual arousal disorder. So, with this, the person does not have the arousal after the desire phase. The person do not get aroused to have any form of sexual intercourse or have any form of sexual activity. So the person may have the desire for a sexual activity, but the person will not have the arousal to engage in intercourse. So the person would push you away, not willing to move on after the desire phase. The next thing to talk about is the orgasmic disorder or orgasm, what we know as orgasm. So in female orgasmic disorder, this one, the person would have the desire for a sexual activity or sexual intercourse. The person will have the arousal, but the person will not be able to have orgasm. And this may be attributed to a lot of things. So these are the three cycles that we have. So the last thing that we'll be talking about is sexual pain disorder. This is when you experience severe pains during intercourse or during any sexual engagement or sexual intimacy. So this is as a result of the vaginal muscles contracting and making it painful during penetration, where whenever there is penetration, you feel this sharp pain in your vagina. So this is also a disorder that needs to be addressed. So this is what we'll be considering today. In our next video, we will consider sexual dysfunction in males and later look at the various managements available for them. Thank you very much. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like and share. Meet you in the next video. Bye.